Hey Lewis, my name is Josh King, and in this video, I'm going to show you three things that you can do today to book more jobs and increase your revenue. Now, I know you're probably thinking, all right, Josh, what's the catch? Why are you willing to do this? It's simple, really. Most business owners don't have time to learn how the internet can actually help their business, and they don't always know whether the quote unquote experts are the real deal. And so I just started putting together these free game plans, real steps that businesses can take that will really make an impact with no strings attached. And some business owners just take it and run with it, while others say, hey, Josh, are you able to do this for me? And so in either scenario, it's a win for your business. Now, if at the end of this video you do want more information, feel free to reach out, and there's a whole lot more that we can go over. Or you can just take this information and implement it yourself, and that's totally fine too. So let's get to it. So the first thing I want to do is find a top-ranked competitor in the Atlanta area so that we can see exactly how many customers are visiting their website and their GBP every month. So we're just going to perform a quick Google search. Now I've typed in here kitchen remodel Atlanta just because that's a really common search that people looking for remodeling companies would be likely to search for. And I've found this KDO Kitchens Remodeling. They're ranked number one organically for that keyword, and they're also here in the map pack. So they're going to be a really good example to use. And so we'll take them as an example of somebody to see exactly how much traffic they have coming to their website. And we're going to be comparing the performance of their website with yours using this program called Ahrefs. So Ahrefs is a tool that costs about $200 a month, but it's a great tool because it allows us to see how the websites are performing behind the scenes. Now, the main thing that I want you to see here on this first part, I know there's a lot of technical jargon going on here, but the main thing I want to look at is going to be the organic keywords and the organic traffic. Now, this is just going to be people who are typing in generic searches like this one, so not necessarily typing in any specific business, and then they're finding you organically. So you can see here, you guys currently don't have any organic keywords or any of that organic traffic. And then we're going to look at the same thing for KDO Kitchens and Remodeling. And so you can see currently they have 95 organic keywords they're ranking for, and they have 316 organic traffickers coming to their website this last month. Now we can actually click right here on the 95 keywords, and we can see which ones they got traffic for, as well as what kind of keywords they're targeting currently. So you can see on the left here, these are all of the keywords that they're ranking for. Volume right here, it talks about how many times each month these terms get searched. And then the traffic is how many of those searchers they actually had come to their website. And so you can see Kitchen Remodeling Atlanta gets searched 150 times, and they had 50 traffickers from that one. So they had a third of the search volume for that particular keyword come to their website. Kitchen Remodeling Atlanta, Georgia gets 100 searches every month, and they had 23 from that one, and so on and so forth. So you can see all of the keywords down through here, and you can see exactly how much traffic they got. And so it's all of these added up that equals that 319, I think it was. And so you can see also the kind of keywords that they're targeting. So these are what we call location specific because it mentions Atlanta, and then buyer intent because it's very specifically stating the service that you provide is what the person is searching for. So kitchen remodeling, Atlanta kitchen remodel, bathroom remodel, so on and so forth. So those are all what we call location specific buyer intent keywords. And so that's the exact kind of keyword that you would want to target for sure, because people who have just typed this search in are probably looking to get a quote on getting either their kitchen or their bathroom remodeled. And so that is 316 traffickers that came to just their website. So this doesn't include the GBP. We saw just a minute ago, they're also ranked in the top 3 for their GBP as well right here. So this is only 316 traffickers coming just to the website. So they probably had hundreds more that came for the GBP as well. And so you can see how much, I mean, you can imagine what 500, 600 people come into your GBP and your website after searching those keywords, how much that would affect your business. Now, this competitor's high ranking, it's not because their company does the best remodeling work in Atlanta or anything like that. It actually has nothing to do with that whatsoever. They're just simply leveraging these 3 core pillars of online dominance that I'm going to go over with you. And those are content, citations, and backlinks. And I'm going to break down for you exactly how to capitalize on each one of these. But the first one we're going to talk about is going to be content. So what is content? So content is just all of the text that you see here on the page, as well as what the images on the page are saved as. And so there's going to be 2 main things about your content that are going to be very important. Number 1 is going to be the keywords. So the keywords, just like the one we just looked at for the kitchens and bathrooms, all of those specific keywords. Having the keywords just like those actually on the page, on the website, in your content is pivotal because you can't rank for keywords if they're not actually on your website. So that's number one, is actually getting the keywords on there. Number two is going to be the amount of content. So most business owners don't realize that the average amount of content on the homepage for remodeling companies ranking number one is around 1,500, and it can be up to even as high as 2,400 words. And we can actually check the amount of content on your website using a tool like SEO Optimer. And so I've actually, I've got it pulled up right here. I'm going to grab your URL and we will just throw it in right here. And so what this is going to do is it's just going to take a second to load, and it'll tell us how many words of content are actually currently on your homepage. So it shows that you guys currently have 274 words of content. And I ran the same thing for KDO Kitchens and Remodeling.com. And so they currently have about 728 words of content on their homepage. And you can read right here on the SEO Optimer website as well. It says just how important having content on your website is. So numerous studies have shown that there's a relationship between the amount of content on a page, typically measured in word count, and its ranking potential. So generally, longer content will rank higher. Obviously, content also needs to be topically relevant, keyword rich, and highly readable for the visitor. And so again, this just kind of stresses the importance of having the keywords in the content, and then just having more content than your competitors. And so after looking at these two key factors, it's really easy to see why your competitors are ranking at the top. So they have those keywords that we just saw in their content, and then they have more content. And so the action step I would take in terms of the content would be to go and add 1,500 words of unique keyword-rich content to your home page. And in doing so, that would drastically improve your ranking. So you would boost this from 287 words, I believe it was. If you just added 1,250 words, got it up to a total of 1,500 words, and then got all of the keywords in there that you would want included for bathrooms and kitchens and all of those sorts of things, that would drastically improve your ranking. So now I want to refer back over here to this Google search that we performed. And so when we first pulled it up, you've noticed this section right up here at the top. So this is where the top 3 GBPs are listed, and it's called the map pack. Now, I think everyone at some point has used a business that they found here in the map section. And that's why it's so important to get your business ranked here in this section. Now, the number one thing you can do today to push your business up into the map pack is going to be citations. And that's the next thing I want to talk to you about. So what is a citation? So a citation is just a listing of your business's name, address, and phone number on directories like BBB, Yelp, Yext, and so forth. And as you get listed on these directories, it sends a signal to Google that your business is highly relevant, especially if you have more citations than your competitors. And so looking back over here at the map pack, on average, these top 3 businesses in the map pack typically have around 150 citations. And that's a big reason why they're ranking so well in these local searches. Meanwhile, your average remodeling company probably averages around 25. And so in terms of citations, we would just want to go and see how many citations you currently have. You can use tools like WhiteSpark. There's several other ones as well that will show you exactly which citations you currently have. And then you would want to go and add an additional 250 citations from the strongest directories so that you would know you're going to beat out your competition by a landslide and get your business ranked here in the map pack. Now, as we continue to scroll down here, the next section you come to is called the organic section, and this is where the websites are listed. And so according to Google statistics, approximately 60% of searchers still come and click on one of these organic section websites. And so it goes without saying that we want to rank number 1 in this section as well. Now, backlinks are going to play a huge role in ranking at the top of this area. Now, you might be wondering, what is a backlink and how does it help me rank? A backlink is basically just a link from another site back to your website. So let me just show you an example. So in order to show you an example, we're just going to go right here to KDO Kitchens and Remodeling, and we're going to look at their backlinks. And so what we're going to look at here, this is just their bbb.com or .org listing. And so there's a link on that page that links back to their website. So this is an example of a backlink. And so what it's going to say is it's going to say visit website. And so what I'll do is I'll click here, and we're going to go to their BBB page. It's right here. So this right here is the link that we just saw. And so you'll notice when we click visit website, it's going to take us to KDO Kitchens and Remodeling.com. That is what a backlink is. It's just a link on another website, just like this, that links back to your website. And so you can think of these links like a popularity contest. If you have more high quality websites pointing back to your website than your competitors do, then your website is going to rank higher. And so you can see here that currently your competitors have 342 backlinks pointing back to their website. And if you look at you guys, y'all have 22. And so looking at that, it's pretty easy to see why they're ranking so well. And so with a tool just like Ahrefs here, you can see exactly which backlinks your competitors have. I'll click back into them again just to show you. So you can go through here one by one and actually see which backlinks they have. And you'll know, like if you don't have bbb.org, you can actually go get listed on BBB, and now you'll have the same backlink as your competitor. And so you could go and do that link by link all the way down through here until you have the exact same backlink profile as your competitor. And success leaves clues. So you know if Google is ranking them very well with the current backlinks they have, if you go get all of the same backlinks they have, and then on top of that, you go add a few more, now you know that you're going to have the advantage over your number one competition. So that's everything I had for you on backlinks. Now, just to kind of recap everything. So what we talked about content. So we want to have at least 1,500 words of unique keyword-rich content on your homepage. We talked about citations. So we want to have between 200 and 300 citations to beat out our competition by a landslide. And then backlinks. We need to have more relevant and powerful sites pointing back to our website than our competitors have. And if you go and implement these 3 strategies today, you can be number one across Google. Now, I know how tough the market can be and how dependent so many businesses are on third-party companies like Angie, Thumbtack, and Yelp. I know exactly how painful it is to pay for leads that are shared amongst 4 of your competitors. But this game plan that I just showed you today can give you complete control over your leads and have your customers coming straight to your door without a third party in between. Now, if you're not in a season where you're looking to scale your business, that's completely fair. Just send me a quick note just saying that you watched this video and let me know what your thoughts are about it. And I would really appreciate your feedback. On the other hand, if you are ready to grow, you now have an actionable game plan that you can go and implement these 3 strategies today. Or if you want to fast track your growth with a strategy customized to your business without having to take your focus off of customers and your day-to-day operations, then click the link below this video. It'll take you to a page where you can schedule a quick, no obligation call where we can go over your specific situation, answer any questions you might have, and we'll see if there's a fit. Or you can just call or text us at 855-510-0308 for a quick chat. Once again, my name is Josh King, and my number is 855-510-0308. I look forward to hearing from you, and have a great day.